You feel it even when you try to ignore it. Something inside you still moves when his name appears. Something in your chest becomes warm and heavy at the same time. Because deep down you know this connection was never ordinary. Your twin flame loves you more than he ever admitted, yet he belongs to someone else, in this is the kind of love that confuses the heart and breaks the mind at the same time. Because how can someone love you deeply and still not be with you? How can two souls feel perfectly connected while reality keeps them apart? The truth begins from the moment you first met him. Nothing about that meeting felt random. It felt familiar. Like remembering a dream you once forgot. Conversations flowed naturally. Silence felt comfortable. A contact lasted longer than normal, and both of you sensed something powerful forming without needing words. Twin flames recognize each other instantly. Because they share the same energetic blueprint. You saw parts of yourself inside him, and he saw parts of himself inside you. This recognition creates emotional intensity that cannot be explained. Logically, suddenly your emotions became deeper. Your thoughts revolved around him without effort, and even when you tried to focus elsewhere, your heart returned to him again and again. But twin flame connections are not simple romantic stories. They are spiritual awakenings, and awakening always begins with disruption. He started caring about you in ways he tried to hide. He noticed your mood changes, protected your feelings, remembered small details, and looked at you with a softness he rarely showed anyone else. Yet every time the connection moved closer, something stopped him. He hesitated, stepped back, became distant, and you felt confused, because the love was real, but the commitment never arrived. The reason hurts, because his heart belongs to you emotionally, but his life is already tied to someone else. He may have built a relationship before meeting you. Responsibilities, memories, expectations, and shared history create bonds that are difficult to leave. Even when the soul discovers something deeper, twin flame love challenges identity. It forces a person to question everything they believed about love, loyalty, and happiness, and many people fear that level of transformation. He feels safe where he is, but alive when he is with you, and this internal conflict creates emotional chaos. Inside him, he may never openly confess it, but loving you awakens parts of him. He does not fully understand you. Mirror his hidden desires, his fears, his unhealed wounds, and his authentic self, and facing that reflection requires courage he has not fully developed yet. So instead of choosing between heart and responsibility, he remains stuck between both worlds, loving you silently while maintaining the life he already knows. You notice his eyes searching for you in crowded places, his energy changing when you leave conversations ending too quickly, because emotions feel overwhelming. This push and pull is not rejection. It is fear. Twin flame love feels too intense, too real, too exposing, and sometimes people choose stability over emotional truth, not because the love is weaker, but because the transformation feels terrifying. You may ask yourself why destiny would bring someone into your life only to place them with another person. The answer lies in spiritual timing. Twin flames often meet before both individuals are ready for union. The meeting activates growth rather than immediate partnership. You entered his life to awaken him emotionally, and he entered yours to awaken you spiritually. Even separation becomes part of the journey, because distance forces both souls to confront themselves without distraction. While you struggle with longing, he struggles with guilt, because loving you while being committed elsewhere creates emotional tension he cannot easily resolve. He might convince himself the feelings will fade, but twin flame connections do not disappear. They become quieter yet stronger, living beneath everyday routines. Like a hidden truth, he carries within him memories of your conversations, your laughter. Your presence return unexpectedly, reminding him of something missing in his life, and while you question your worth, he questions his choices. silently wondering why someone who understands him so deeply cannot simply be part of his reality. This is the painful beauty of twin flame love. It exists beyond circumstances, beyond labels, beyond timing, and even when physical union does not happen immediately, the connection continues, shaping both souls, guiding them toward emotional awakening and personal transformation. As time passes, the connection does not fade. Instead, it evolves into something deeper, something quieter yet more powerful. You try to move forward, telling yourself that loving someone unavailable is emotional torture. You promise to let go, to protect your heart. Yet somehow his energy continues, finding you through memories, dreams, sudden emotions, and unexplainable moments of longing. Twin flame bonds operate beyond physical distance. Your souls remain connected, even when your lives move in separate directions. He may appear happy with someone else, smiling, living normally, fulfilling responsibilities, yet inside him, something feels incomplete because the connection with you awakened emotional depth he cannot experience anywhere else. Comfort and familiarity may exist in his current relationship, but soul recognition exists only with you, and this difference slowly begins affecting him. He might start feeling restless, dissatisfied without understanding why routine conversations feel shallow, moments lack emotional intensity, and he begins remembering how alive he felt when speaking with you. Twin flames awaken authenticity. You represent emotional truth, while his current life may represent stability. And people often remain where life feels predictable, even when their soul desires something more meaningful. He may suppress thoughts of you, believing distance will erase feelings. Yet suppression only strengthens emotional awareness. Late at night, when distractions disappear, he remembers the way you understood him without explanation, the way your presence made him feel seen, accepted, and emotionally safe. These memories return, not as romantic fantasy, but as spiritual recognition. You may also experience emotional waves, sudden happiness followed by sadness, dreams where he appears vividly, or moments where you feel his emotions without direct communication. This happens because twin flames share energetic resonance. Your emotional states influence each other unconsciously. While you grow stronger, learning self-love, independence, and emotional clarity, he begins facing inner questions he avoided before meeting you. He may start examining his choices, wondering whether he followed expectations instead of authentic desires. Twin flame separation creates internal awakening for both individuals. You learn to stand emotionally on your own, discovering that love should not require losing yourself, while he learns to confront fears of change, vulnerability, and honesty. You might believe waiting for him to find your journey, but true twin flame growth happens when you release attachment to outcome. Loving him does not mean pausing your life. It means honoring the connection while choosing your own healing. When you focus on personal growth, confidence, purpose, and emotional balance, the energy between you shifts dramatically, because twin flames reunite through alignment rather than pursuit. Chasing creates resistance, while self-fulfillment creates attraction. As you reclaim your identity outside the connection, he subconsciously senses that transformation. Your calmness, your independence, your emotional strength begin influencing him energetically. He notices your absence differently, no longer feeling emotional pressure, but sensing peaceful distance that makes him reflect more deeply on what he lost or avoided. Sometimes people need silence to recognize value. Your withdrawal allows him to experience life without the emotional mirror you provided. And gradually he realizes something irreplaceable existed between you. Twin flame love teaches unconditional compassion. You begin understanding that his presence with another person is not betrayal, but part of his learning process, just as your Pain becomes part of yours. This realization does not remove sadness but transforms it into acceptance. You stop asking why he is not choosing you and start trusting that genuine connections cannot be forced. Timing, maturity, and emotional readiness must align naturally, and while uncertainty remains, you begin feeling stronger, calmer, and more grounded, realizing that the purpose of this connection was never to create suffering but to awaken love within yourself first. Eventually, a profound shift happens inside you. The longing softens, the emotional chaos settles, and you begin understanding the deeper meaning of this connection. You realize your twin flame entered your life not to complete you, but to reveal parts of yourself you had never explored. Loving him while he loved someone else forced you to confront abandonment wounds, insecurities, and fears of being unchosen. Yet through that pain you discovered emotional strength, self-respect, and unconditional love. Twin flame journeys transform longing into personal evolution. You start living fully again, focusing on your dreams, rediscovering joy, nurturing friendships, and building a life that does not depend on his return. And paradoxically, this independence becomes the turning point, because twin flame energy responds to authenticity rather than attachment. As you release emotional desperation, the connection becomes lighter, healthier, and spiritually balanced. He may begin sensing your change, feeling your emotional stability. Even without communication, suddenly memories of you return more intensely. He notices how rare your connection was, how conversations felt deeper, how emotional understanding flowed effortlessly. He begins realizing that what he felt with you was not temporary attraction, but soul recognition, and this realization often arrives during moments of personal crisis or emotional reflection. Perhaps challenges arise in his current relationship, perhaps he feels unfulfilled despite external stability, perhaps he starts questioning whether comfort without passion truly satisfies the heart. During these moments he understands that loving you awakened a truth he cannot ignore. He recognizes that avoiding the connection did not erase it, only delayed his understanding. Twin flame awakening often happens gradually. He may reach out unexpectedly, initiate conversations, or express emotions he once hid, not because you waited, but because both of you evolved individually into stronger versions of yourselves. However, true union does not always look like fairy tales. Sometimes union means emotional closure, mutual understanding, or spiritual peace rather than physical partnership. The purpose of twin flame love is transformation, not possession. You were never meant to compete with anyone else. You were meant to awaken each other's souls regardless of outcome. The connection changed you forever, teaching patience, compassion, resilience, and self-love. You learned that being loved does not depend on being chosen immediately, and that your worth exists independent of anyone's decision whether he eventually returns romantically or remains a sacred chapter in your life. The love you shared fulfilled its spiritual purpose. It guided both of you toward authenticity and emotional awakening. One day, you will look back and understand that loving your twin flame while he loved someone else was not a tragedy, but a sacred journey that helped you discover your true self. Because twin flame love never truly ends. It transforms, evolves, and continues, guiding both souls toward honesty, courage, and spiritual alignment. And in that realization, peace finally replaces longing. You no longer wait to be chosen, because you have already chosen yourself, and that is where real union begins, not with another person, but within your own awakened heart.